In some of my videos, I've literally given away over $1 million. So a lot of people think that I just came up in a rich household. Not a lot. In reality, my mom was in the military. She was a single mom and she worked a lot.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? When I first started, the videos were horrible, and then they slowly got less and less horrible throughout the years. You grind, and you grind, and you grind, year after year after year after year. It definitely does hit you, but I had more reasons than just wanting to be famous or just wanting money. As selfish as it sounds, I like helping people because it just makes me happy. I like seeing their faces light up. I like seeing how excited they get.
Most people see MrBeast as the unstoppable creator who reshaped the internet. The man who transformed charity into a global spectacle, who turned challenges into cultural moments, and who pushed YouTube into an entirely new era of visual storytelling. But what people rarely stop to consider is the emotional cost behind that level of success. The long nights, the mental strain, the pressure to constantly innovate, the exhaustion that comes from carrying a global audience on your shoulders. The world celebrates the results, but overlooks the sacrifice that fuels them. What the world notices even less is the quiet presence of someone who brings balance to that intensity. Someone whose mind is wired for empathy, understanding, insight, and emotional depth. Someone who believes in reflection rather than noise, and in human connection rather than spectacle. That person is Thea Booysen. Their lives could not be more different. Jimmy operates inside a high-velocity world of massive projects, enormous teams, global influence, and relentless ambition. Thea moves through a space built on introspection, emotional intelligence, psychological study, and creative storytelling. Yet when these two worlds collided, something rare happened. They did not simply begin a relationship. They began crafting a foundation for a legacy that blends ambition with balance, intellect with creativity, and global impact with emotional clarity. Before we continue, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Here we reveal the unseen stories behind extraordinary individuals, the relationships that strengthen them, and the decisions that turn lives into legacies. Let us begin. MrBeast's rise to international influence did not begin with cameras or crowds. It began with an obsession. As a teenager, Jimmy Donaldson devoted every waking hour to studying YouTube at a level no one else's age could understand. While his peers focused on school or hobbies, Jimmy analyzed audience behavior, studied why. That belief paid off. His videos evolved from simple stunts into cinematic experiences. His challenges grew in ambition. His philanthropic efforts became global movements. His audience expanded into one of the largest digital communities in history. And at some point, he crossed an invisible line. He stopped being just a creator and became a cultural force. Jimmy became a brand, a global entertainer, a philanthropist, a business architect, and an innovator shaping the digital landscape. His companies now include food brands sold in multiple countries, charitable organizations feeding entire communities, production operations with unprecedented scale, and an entertainment empire that employs hundreds. But even the brightest success casts a shadow. For Jimmy, that shadow was his personal life. He admitted publicly that relationships were difficult for him, not because he lacked care, but because his mind could not detach from his ambitions. Rest became a luxury. Balance became a distant goal. He felt responsible not just for his own career, but for the livelihoods of employees, the expectations of fans, and the momentum of a global brand. Every video felt like a mission to protect a legacy that had barely begun. And that is where Thea enters the story. Thea Booysen grew up in South Africa surrounded by stories, psychology, books, and a desire to understand people. She studied the human mind not academically, but with real empathy. She wanted to help individuals articulate their emotions, navigate inner conflict, and understand themselves. Her curiosity made her thoughtful. Her education made her insightful. Her personality made her grounded. When she began creating content, she did not chase fame. She built community. She discussed psychology, gaming, literature, and emotional wellness with sincerity. She offered space for people to reflect on their lives rather than escape them. Her first novel, The Marked Children, introduced readers to her imagination and her Their connection began not with romance, but with conversation. Deep conversations about motivation, purpose, emotional cycles, creativity, and the pressures that shape great work. They admired each other's minds before they admired each other's public personas. While Jimmy lived in constant motion, Thea lived in emotional clarity. She became the grounding force he did not know he needed. She brought stability where his world spun too fast. She helped him identify unhealthy patterns, manage stress, and find moments of calm in a life that rarely allowed it. Their relationship grew slowly and privately because they chose to protect it. They did not chase the spotlight. They did not monetize their moments. They did not turn their connection into content. Instead, they allowed time to shape a foundation rooted in trust. By the time the public became aware of their relationship, it was already strong enough to withstand attention. The bond had been built quietly, intentionally, and away from noise. As time passed, they realized they were not simply dating. They were building a partnership. Jimmy continued expanding the MrBeast brand into an empire. With large-scale production facilities, new product divisions, global charity efforts, and an ever-growing team, he became one of the most influential digital pioneers of the decade. Many experts believe he is on track to become the first billionaire creator, not because he collects wealth, but because he reinvests nearly everything into creating impact at a global level. Meanwhile, Thea built her own identity independent of Jimmy's fame. She continued writing. She grew her online presence. She became an advocate for mental health and emotional literacy. She developed her storytelling abilities and strengthened her voice in the world of psychology and digital culture. She proved that she was not defined by her partner's success. She was defined by her own depth, talent, and purpose. Their connection works because they support each other without controlling each other. Jimmy encourages Thea's creativity. Thea protects Jimmy's emotional health. They communicate with honesty. They negotiate boundaries. They handle challenges privately. They remind each other of their long-term vision. Their relationship is not built on dependency. It is built on support. Together, they have created a life where ambition meets emotional intelligence, where success meets stability, where vision meets reflection. Jimmy continues impacting millions through philanthropy, education, and creative entertainment. Thea continues touching lives through writing, psychology, and emotional guidance. Their legacies grow side by side, unique, independent, complementary. Their story teaches something important. Even the most successful people need grounding. Even the strongest leaders need someone who understands them without the filter of fame. Even the brightest creators need emotional clarity. And even the busiest individuals deserve a relationship that expands them rather than drains them. Jimmy found someone who understands the emotional cost of ambition. Thea found someone who respects her intellect as much as her presence. Together, they remind us that legacy is not only what you build, it is who you choose to build it with. So let me ask you this. If you were creating a legacy that could shape an entire generation, who would you want standing beside you? Someone who wants your spotlight, or someone who understands your soul? Tell me in the comments.